Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
So, this is the actual last episode of predictions recap, actually. Now that the Super Bowl is over, and spoiler alert. Oh, hold on. Let's rewind here for a second. Spoiler alert. I don't know what's going on there, but anyway, spoiler alert. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. Both me and Thomas picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win, although in fairness, Thomas picked them a little bit more confidently than I did. Yeah, let's talk about what happened, because this is the last time we're going to be having any games to talk about for, 9 months?
Yeah, that's a long time.
It's going to be a
want to talk about some
time before we get football again.
We can talk about Johnny Manziel.
Another pandemic.
We can predict Johnny Manziel games. Is Johnny Manziel going to win today?
What?
Johnny Manziel, he's in that league where you're able to call his own plays, call his plays for him.
What is this? I'm not even aware of what you're talking about.
You didn't hear about this? Seriously?
Johnny Manziel playing in...
It's a league.
Fan-controlled football.
Yes. You just not hearing about this. What? Oh my God, God.
Fan control. What even is that? Like, what like people broadcast on Twitch?
I don't know how they're gonna do it.
How the mighty have fallen.
I don't know how they're gonna do that, but their big star in our league is Johnny Manziel. It is Johnny Manziel's last and final attempt of getting back to the NFL.
That's an attempt to get back into the NFL. What are you talking? This does not sound like trying to get back to the NFL.
Hey, you gotta do something, right? I don't know.
Let's see. It has garnered the backing of professional athletes, including Chad Johnson, Marshawn Lynch, and Richard Sherman. Okay, so it's got some backing to it, but like, who cares? Like what? The fans are gonna pick the plays? What is this, like real life Madden?
I don't know.
Okay, I guess I could see that being kind of interesting, but like the difference is in Madden, you're controlling the players when you pick the plays. In this, you're just going to pick the plays and then watch a bunch of players who are like bad professional football players enact your plays. I don't see the appeal here.
All I know is I am very appealed, and when I participate in this league, because trust me, I want to help call plays. I'm just gonna tell Johnny Manziel to scramble every single play. Just scramble. Don't throw the ball. Do not throw the ball. You just don't
scramble straight into the linebacker. That's what I'd like to say.
You got a solid arm on him. I just tell him just drop back and throw it. Just throw it as far as you can.
I just want to see him get hit. That's all I want to see.
Yeah, we do. That's why I'm going to tell him to scramble so much.
Yeah. But that is not Super Bowl related, so we should probably talk about the Super Bowl.
It's just super
like I said, I felt that picking against Tom Brady was a bad idea. Even though I felt the Chiefs were a better football team. Now, they sure didn't play like it. But boy, was picking with Tom Brady the right move, because I mean, some people say like, Tom Brady gets the Super Bowl MVPs because he's the quarterback, but I mean, this man threw for 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Like, I mean, just come on.
Against a very good Chiefs defense, by the way. Like,
against the solid Chiefs defense, and like, I don't know. I mean, like, it wasn't the greatest performance I've ever seen of all time, but like, it was a pretty damn good quarterback performance. And who else? I mean, what are you gonna give it to Gronk? Gronk had a pretty good game.
That defense, man.
You want to know an interesting stat that I saw? Patrick Mahomes ran the ball 497 yards, like across the field. Not like, I mean, like his rushing total on the day was like nothing. It was like 33
He was
yards.
getting rushed so
but-
much, man. He's always scrambling yesterday.
Yeah, because he was constantly having to scramble away from Buccaneers pass rushers. He ran the ball 497 total yards, like end to end on the day. Like if you count up all the yards that he ran to get away from pass rushers, it was 497 yards, and that's according to Next Gen Stats.
I think that this game highlights the importance of the offensive line. What position on the offensive line did they have go down?
It was Eric Fisher, the left tackle, was out.
Yeah.
He didn't go down, but he was out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
And also, their starting left guard, I think, opted out before the season. So
yeah,
I mean,
so
it's
they didn't
just,
really have
this right here is proof as to why, even like you can have like, an all-time great quarterback, and if you don't have like an elite offensive line, then you're going to have problems.
just something that can just like put the together. This game is just like the ultimate example of the importance of the offensive line. I think the NFL team's starting to learn that. I think that the game is always won or lost. What they said on Westwood One Radio, the game since the beginning of time, since the beginning of NFL, the game was won and lost at the line of scrimmage.
In the trenches, right?
In the trenches, yeah.
But I mean, see, that's the thing. A lot of people are giving Patrick Mahomes shit for playing not so great in this game. So I just want to point out that I don't think Patrick Mahomes had a horrible game. Like, I think, like, let's talk about Travis Kelce for a second, all right? He caught 10 receptions for 133 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, just statistically, you look at the list of stats, it looks like Travis Kelce was the best player on the Chiefs all day. But there were a lot of dropped. I mean, like, what was it? Travis Kelce only caught 10 of his 15 targets. I don't know if all 5 of those other, like, passes were drops, because there were a lot of drops by Travis Kelce in that game. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs would have won if Travis Kelce held on to those balls, because obviously they, lost 31-9, so there wasn't much going on there. But at the same time, like, it's like, I think Patrick Mahomes did fine. I mean, he definitely didn't play like I expected him to, but he did fine. And I think the Chiefs just kind of let him down around him. They let a 43-year-old quarterback throw 3 touchdowns.
Okay, so this goes back to what I was trying to say at last podcast, and we kind of talked about this before we kind of talked about this before we got on the air. As I said last podcast, that I don't think that the Chiefs are going to be as dominant as we originally crowned them. For all the reasons why they lost this game Sunday, is because it is so hard. First of all, this is a testament to what Tom Brady did. He won 7 Super Bowls, which is just phenomenal. It is so hard to win 1 Super Bowl in NFL, and it's so hard to be a dominant franchise like the Patriots were, or what Tom Brady is doing in the NFL, because you can't dominate the NFL like you do in the NBA. You can't even dominate the NFL like the Yankees did in the MLB. Like, it's so hard to do so, because like you only got to be bad for 1 game for you to be knocked out. And I just see all this talent in the AFC, right? I see all this talent in the AFC, man. I see Watson, I see Lamar Jackson, I see Allen, I see Barrow, I see Baker Mayfield, I see Herbert. Like, you have all of these quarterbacks in the NFL. There is no way that the Chiefs, I just don't think that the Chiefs could just be this Golden State Warriors style dynasty where they went 3 out of 4 years, or 5 out of 6, or something crazy like that, or something like the Michael Jordan team did. Like I said at the beginning of the year they will be, but then as I progressed through the season, I realized I can never get the thing out of my head, the phrase out of my head, any given Sunday. And you don't got to be the better team; you got to be the better team that day. And the Chiefs just weren't good yesterday. They looked beatable. And people aren't going to be afraid of them next year. Nobody's gonna be afraid of him next year. People want to come blazing because the AFC is so deep. The AFC is so deep. Guys, I'm just saying, pump the brakes on this Chiefs dynasty. Pump the brake on this idea of Chiefs having a dynasty.
Well,
I think Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. I think he's the best. He's the most talented quarterback in the NFL. But keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback in the NFL for a very long time, and he only have one ring.
I will say, well, first of all, he has one ring in his first 3 seasons. I don't think that's any reason to criticize the guy. But
I'm not criticizing him at all.
I'm definitely getting a Seahawks vibe from this Chiefs team. Like, if they don't step it up next year, then I'm going to start thinking like, this might be the best that we've ever seen, that we're going to see out of this Chiefs team. Now, like Patrick Mahomes is an insane human being, but at the same time, he clearly can't do it all himself. I mean, like, even as like, I mean, we sit here and talk about like Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. And with this 7th Super Bowl ring, like, I mean, I know you don't hear it a lot, but I know a lot of people who try to like say like, oh, well, he's not the best. Peyton Manning's the best. I got one guy trying to talk to me about like Tom Brady's lack of integrity, meaning he's not the GOAT. And I'm like, come on, you reach.
At 90% of people I talk to be like, yeah, Tom Brady's the greatest. But give him I live in Cleveland.
Most of the people I talk to do as well, but you got those stragglers who are just like they just hate Tom Brady so much that they just can't accept the fact that he's the greatest quarterback. I mean, you don't even have to like the guy. I said on the last on the predictions episode of the Super Bowl, the guy's a dick. You don't have to like the guy. Like, I mean, it's fine. It's okay to not like the guy. I think as far as greatness, as far as achieving like more than anybody else has achieved at one particular craft, nobody's done it like Tom Brady. And I'm sorry that you don't like that, but it's true. And get over yourself. Then maybe there will be another GOAT. I mean, there's certainly things that Tom Brady has not accomplished, but he's accomplished more than anybody else has.
I got it. Okay, I got it. People who hate Tom Brady. You know how like you watch those movies and like the superhero movies, and there's that villain who just hates everybody, or who hates the hero, was always jealous of the hero, and became the villain because he can never amount to the hero. That's what Tom Brady haters are. They're just that jealous villain. Like, I don't know. The kid from I got it. The kid from The Incredibles, who always wanted to be a superhero and couldn't be a superhero because he didn't have the powers. So instead of him using his intelligence to do something productive to help the game, he decided to use his intelligence to try and destroy it. That's what y'all doing. Y'all intelligent people who using your intelligence instead of to being part of great sports talks and have a good and contribute well stuff to the conversation. Y'all choose to be trolls. What's the villain's name from The Incredibles? What's his name? What's the villain's name from The Incredibles? Let me look it up real quick. Incredibles villain. I'm about to watch that shit. That's what I want to watch tonight after we're done with this. His name is Sidrum. There it goes. Sidrum. You guys are Sidrum.
That's roundabout that we just went along here, brought to you by Thomas Stargell. That took a while to get there. But it was fun nonetheless. But I don't know, man. Like I don't think that I'm gonna sit here and say like I don't believe that the Chiefs aren't capable of a dynasty. But like you said, I'm definitely getting like early 2010s Seahawks vibes from them. In the idea that like they've got all this talent, and Andy Reid is a really, really, really good coach. Yeah. But Pete Carroll is also a really, really, really good head coach. And
Russell Wilson is a really, really good quarterback.
And Russell Wilson's a really, really, really good quarterback. And like, it's just like a lot of this is you're pouring a lot of resources into very specific parts of the team. And the Chiefs have a very good defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Buccaneers have a scarier defense. Like the Buccaneers are the kind of defense that can take you for a ride. They don't just rely on their offense to just run away with the game, which I think the Chiefs do. And it's again not to say that they don't have a talented defense, but I think the problem is they rely so heavily on their offense going off that
Yeah.
if their offense doesn't go off, then they're in trouble.
Yeah.
And I actually saw an article talking about that 497 yards of rushing that Patrick Mahomes did to get away from being sacked in the Super Bowl. And the next most rushing yards that he had to get away from being sacked this year was was in the game where the Raiders beat the Chiefs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that means that they did their homework in Tampa Bay.
Well, that means there's a formula to beating the Chiefs, and all it is making Patrick Mahomes run for his life. As creative and as instinctive and amazing as Patrick Mahomes is about just doing whatever literally what the hell ever, and just like creating something out of nothing. As amazing as he is at doing that, if you make that the only thing that he like if you make the entire game a situation where he has to basically do the entire team's job by himself, eventually he cracks. And that's what happened this week. You end up in a situation where he doesn't throw any touchdowns and throws 2 interceptions.
We never had anybody really challenge Patrick Mahomes that much, for real.
Not to that extent, no. It's like I said, the Raiders kind of did that.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, how many games has this dude lost in his career? Like what? Like 5?
Yeah.
6? Something crazy like that. He lost 2 this year. He lost 3 this year. You count the playoffs. He lost 3 games this year. Well, actually, no, he didn't start a game. So yeah, he only lost 2 games this year. And then he lost his first year. He only played 1 game. He won that game. And then 3 years ago, he only lost 3 games. Last year, he lost he only lost a couple of games because you remember he didn't start a couple of games. He got hurt last year.
Well, and that's the thing, adversity begets success in the NFL.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, you look at guys like, Tom Brady. Look how hard he had to work to get to the point where he was having success after success after success after success. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at up until the final year of his college career, he basically just had to constantly work and work and work and work. And then Dwayne Haskins comes along and takes his starting job, and he's got to reset and work and work and work and work just to get back to where he was. And then, up until, he explodes his senior season, but that was that was years and years and years of building to get to something. And the thing is, I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes hasn't gone through adversity in his life, but I remember that draft. Nobody was thinking Patrick Mahomes. I knew a lot of people who didn't think that Patrick Mahomes was going to be a first rounder.
I thought he was
there was a lot of questions about how ready he is for the NFL. There was a lot of questions about the system that he ran in college. And so the going 10th overall, that was that was best case scenario for Patrick Mahomes at the time. I don't think even he saw himself going that high, especially somebody trading up, and then to go to be around a insanely stacked team that just needed a great quarterback to push them to new heights, with this insanely great good guy head coach. Just at least since he's been at the professional stage of his career, it's just the amount of adversity Patrick Mahomes has had to go through is, I don't feel, enough to really create the type of winners that we see turn into dynasties.
By the way, also noteworthy how young this guy is too. So when you look at because you compare them to Seahawks, think about how young Wilson is. A lot of times these teams, they go through phases, right? So all right, so we look at the Patriots, right? The Patriots, when Tom Brady first came on the scene, when Tom Brady was drafted in 99, They won the first Super Bowl in 2002. Won another Super Bowl in 2004. That's 2 out of 3 years, and won one in 2005. That's 3 Super Bowls in 3 years and 4 years, right? The only year you won a championship is 2003. Then the next 10 years, they don't win a Super Bowl. So keep this in mind. Tom Brady won 3 Super Bowls in his first 4 years, but he won 4 Super Bowls in the last 6 years at the tail end of his career, which means that Tom Brady actually he learned how to win as he progressively got older. I'm not saying that that Patrick Mahomes is going to necessarily do that, but I ain't saying that he necessarily not going to do that. I think that I think that these things come to spurts. I think what's going to happen with Kansas City is I think next year they're going to come back. I think next year, I think one of these teams in the AFC is going to get them. Maybe the Browns, maybe the Ravens, maybe the Bills. There are so many good teams in this freaking conference. Like, shoot, man, maybe the Steelers get a quarterback and they get them. Who knows? Maybe the Titans get them. Like, I just think all these scenarios are very possible when you're talking about the AFC football. But the biggest thing to me is that I just think that they're going to get knocked out next year. And I think the year after that, they're going to start having to pay these guys. And like you said, they have very specific players like they're really good at. But when they're going to start paying these guys, they're going to realize they can't start paying all these guys. And then certain people are going to leave. And then the chemistry's going to be all off. And next thing you know, like you said, you got a Seahawks situation where you have a really, really good quarterback, but not necessarily a really good team. And that is coming. That is coming. And how will Patrick Mahomes respond in that situation? And then you're still in the AFC with all these other good teams. I'm just saying, man, like pump the brakes on this dynasty.
I don't know if I don't believe that the Chiefs have a dynasty in them, but I do think that this idea that the Chiefs are going to be dominating the AFC and going to be unbeatable, I don't think that's good. Well, this is not going to be another Patriots dynasty. But I think the thing we forget sometimes,
I agree with
because of how dominant the Patriots were, I think we forget that a dynasty, all that really is winning 3 Super Bowls in like a short time period. So that doesn't mean that other teams can't win Super Bowls in that time period. Like the Patriots had a dynasty, but at the time Oakland Raiders went to the Super Bowl in the middle of their dynasty. I think that there's going to be plenty of opportunity for other teams to go to the Super Bowl, but I still think that in the next I think sometime over the next 5 years, the Chiefs are going to win 3 of those Super Bowls, probably.
I'll give them 3 out of 7.
That's even that's a dynasty.
Yeah, I would say so. 3 Super Bowls in 7 years, hell yeah. I mean, certain fact the Browns haven't had one in,
Right, but I think the AFC is so used to the Patriots just kind of like raining on everybody's parade that when we hear that this team is going to like be the successor to the Patriots dynasty, we think that means it's just going to be hopeless for everybody. But I don't think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be like, the Chiefs are going to be the team that they're going to be like everybody's default pick, but that doesn't mean they're going to win every year.
I take that back. I don't think they're going to win 3 out of the next 7.
You don't?
I'm really starting to sit here and think about this. No, I don't think so. Because, we just don't know there's a lot of talent in the AFC, man. A lot of good young talent. There's a lot of good young talent in their division. What if Watson goes to that division? What if the Raiders get Watson, right? Think about this. Then you have in your division Watson, Mahomes, and Herbert. Herbert's coming, man. Herbert is coming, man. That kid is cold. And he's just a rookie. Oh, boy. Herbert is coming.
Well,
so
okay, Herbert's coming, but are the Chargers coming?
Who knows, man? Who knows, man? Look what John Dorsey did with the Browns.
Well, okay, but
you know what I mean?
I don't know. It took the Browns a long time to get there. Like the Chargers.
And then you got Barrow. And then you got Mayfield. And then what if Lamar Jackson figure things out? Man, come on. There is no way.
No, there's a ton of competition in the AFC. I'm just saying I don't know if I believe that the Chargers are going to be like I think the Chargers are going to end up being kind of like like Justin Herbert's going to end up being one of those quarterbacks who has all these amazing stats but never like does much of anything. He's going to be like another Phillip Rivers, you know?
I think. I don't know about that.
I could be wrong, and for Justin Herbert's sake, I guess I hope I am wrong. Although for a competitor to the Chargers' sake, I don't hope I'm wrong. But I don't know. I believe I have come around on Justin Herbert. I think he's very talented. I don't believe in the Chargers as an organization. I think they have no clue what they're doing half the time, honestly.
Justin Herbert's rookie stats as a rookie, 66.6%, 666. By the way, this kid is 22 years old. 66.6 completion percentage, 4,336 yards, 31 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, with a 98.3 quarterback rating. Come on. And he's 22 years old? Man, this kid. And then you got Burrow. And you think I do too. I think Burrow is going to be better than Herbert. I think Burrow is going to be better than Herbert. And that's scary to me because, like, I think, dude, because I was at that Baker Mayfield versus Burrow game, man. And I said after that game, that was the best quarterback performance I ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen two great quarterbacks go at each other. And everybody's like, oh, it's too bad defense. It's like, no, like, there was literally a moment in that game where Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield did not miss a pass. And the Chiefs have to worry about that guy. They got to worry about Mayfield. They got to worry about Burrow. They got to worry about Jackson. And then they got to worry. And then, and let's not forget, there's that Trevor Lawrence guy. I just think it's going to be really hard to get 3 in 7 years because there are a lot of dynasties that can be made in the AFC right now. The AFC, man, all that young talent, man, all those young quarterbacks, we haven't seen the best yet. I just think that Patrick Mahomes is just the first of the young quarterbacks to really emerge and put his footprint down and arrive. But what happens when Deshaun Watson finally gets around a right team and he's able to put his foot down and say, look, I arrived. Like, what's going to happen then? Because Deshaun Watson, man, we haven't seen his best yet. I'm just saying, we got, man, you know.
Yeah, it is actually kind of a good point that you bring up. Thinking about all of the quarterback talent that is just like suffocating the AFC right now. And like, I mean, in the NFC, you've got like, Jalen Hurts might be, the most promising young quarterback in the NFC right now. I mean, you got like, let's see, who you got? You got, I mean, Tom Brady.
Carson Wentz is trash.
eventually, you'd think Tom Brady's gonna retire at some point. I can't imagine he's got 10 more years left. But then
he probably got him. He probably got to get 3.
You got Aaron Rodgers, who's getting older. He's not. I don't think he's like gonna fall off a cliff anytime soon. But he's getting older. So I wouldn't call him a young talent. Dak Prescott maybe, but even then, he's starting to like hit that like mid-range. You got Jalen Hurts. I don't know what's going on in San Francisco.
That's a good question.
Yeah, Russell Wilson is pretty good, but again, he's kind of hitting that. He's
well,
actually, no, Russell Wilson's about as old as Andy Dalton, ain't he?
Yeah, no,
I mean he's getting older.
He's been in the league for a while, man. He's been in the league for a while. Like, yeah, I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But
Kirk Cousins ain't shit. Drew Brees is retiring. Matt Stafford. You got Matt Stafford.
There
in LA now. He's pretty good, but
he's pretty good.
I don't think we know quite how good Matt Stafford's going to be because I feel he's been held back so badly in Detroit that we don't really know how good he can be with a good team around him.
I think he's gonna have an MVP-ish season.
Daniel Jones. You got Daniel Jones. You got whoever the hell is going to be quarterbacking Chicago, because they ain't Mitch Trubisky, that's for sure.
And whoever the hell is going to be quarterback in Washington.
Yeah, and Atlanta. I mean, it should be Matt Ryan for a little bit longer, but he's definitely getting up there.
Yeah.
You got the Cardinals, who got Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray's pretty good.
The Patriots ended Matthew Ryan's whole career.
Right. Got,
man.
So yeah, you got
really ended that man's whole career.
You got.
Why'd you do that to that man, Bill Belichick?
You got like Zach Wilson, you got Kyle Trask, you got et cetera, et cetera. These are guys who might get drafted in the NFC next year. But right now, as I'm looking at it, the only really great young talent I can see in the entire NFC is Kyler Murray. And he's definitely not perfect. Like, he's definitely got his problems. Oh,
yeah. Because, I'm looking at that game art. So that game, not that game, their season is, how they collapsed the second half of the season. They should have collapsed. And, I'm sorry, I was looking at it. I put my head up for the Cavs screen. Like, the player, Jamel McGree for the Cavs, just got ejected. He was trying to fight the ref. So, yeah, that's the whole situation. Y'all probably seen Sports Center later. Anyway, Kyler Murray, they started off so hot this year. And they beat some really good teams this year at the very beginning of the year. Remember, the beginning of the season, the Cardinals, they finished 8-8. For them to finish 8-8 and miss the playoffs, that's on Kyler, man. That's on Kyler, man. You got to, that means you got figured out in the second half of the season. I know it's only your second season, so I want to be too I want to criticize the quarterback who went 8-8 his second season. Because that's, from the surface, that looks good. But how they went 8-8 is the problem. And I just think that, they should have just done a better job of just keeping the momentum going at least a little bit. Like that tail end of the season for the Cardinals was just unacceptable. Just unacceptable how they just started losing those games. Let me see. Let me pull the schedule up real quick. Here. 2020 schedule. All right. Cardinals finished third in the NFC West. Man. So they lost to the Rams their last week. They lost to the Eagles, or they beat the Eagles. They lost to the 49ers. Unacceptable. We should beat the 49ers, but they lost and couldn't beat the 49ers. They got swept by the Rams this season. They lost to the Patriots. They lost to the Dolphins. Like some of these games y'all should be able to win if y'all wanted the playoffs, and they just couldn't win. They just couldn't execute. They lost to the Panthers. Like some of these games, they should have beat the Panthers. Like you want to be a playoff team, you're Kyler Murray. These are games you got to win if you want to make the playoffs, man. And then the crazy thing is they beat teams like the Bills. Like how do y'all beat teams like the Bills, but then y'all lose to teams like it just doesn't make sense to me. And the thing that really don't make sense to me is just like how Kyler Murray, the inconsistency of Kyler Murray's performance. But some days you have great performances like against the Bills. He had 61 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 245 passing yards. Was that the game where he threw the lob pass, the 50-yard touchdown? Was that game?
That might be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the game he threw that. Yeah, that Hail Mary for the touchdown. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Kyler Murray, man, like you said, I'm not sure if he scares me. I think Justin Herbert's better than him.
I don't know. I definitely think Kyler Murray has his flaws. But the point I was trying to make was out of all of the young talent in the NFC, which there isn't really a whole. There's a lot of misses in the NFC. But out of all the young talent in the NFC, I think Kyler Murray is the only one who's really all that good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, if you're sitting here discounting Kyler Murray, then once the old guard retires, once Brady, Breeze is already gone. Once Brady retires, once Aaron Rodgers, does whatever he does eventually, it's just weird because all this quarterback talent is in the AFC, and it's not just because the AFC teams have been resetting faster. It's because the NFC has been missing like hell on all these quarterbacks. Like look at Jared Goff just got sent to the Lions as essentially a punishment.
Shoot, Carson Wentz, trash ass.
Carson Wentz.
Granted, the Eagles won a Super Bowl.
But yeah, with Nick Foles. There's another example. Nick Foles. NFC quarterback.
What? By the way, what's Carson Wentz's legacy gonna be for Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia, his legacy is going to be a guy who had a lot of talent and ended up not doing much.
How does it feel to be the backup quarterback to the backup quarterback who won the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I heard a rumor that the Eagles were talking about trading him to the Bears for Nick Foles.
Ooh.
Like they're going to get Nick Foles back in exchange for Carson Wentz.
Well, Nick Foles played best when he's in that Eagles uniform. That might be interesting.
You see, I think
Jalen Hurts your future. Jalen Hurts is your future. You got to.
I think Carson Wentz has a lot of potential. I really do. I don't think that Carson Wentz is just actually complete trash. I do think, though, whatever is going on in Philadelphia involving Carson Wentz is broken and needs to be stopped. There is nothing left for Carson Wentz in Philadelphia. He had a really good start to his career. There was a lot of promise there, but it's just been shattered. And he's got to go. So, if Carson Wentz goes to Chicago, I don't think I would be above saying that I think Carson Wentz might succeed in Chicago, but I do not think he's going to succeed in Philadelphia in any way, shape, or form. I heard somebody.
I agree.
I was talking to somebody who was saying that. They said part of the Nick Foles trade deal would be a first round pick, and I was like, first round pick's too high for Carson Wentz. And he was no, Carson Wentz is so good, and I'm like, okay, man, he's got a lot of potential, he's got a lot of talent, but he hasn't been using it lately. So how the hell are you going to justify a first round pick? I mean, that might happen. They might get a first round pick, but I can't imagine why on earth you would send a first round pick for that guy, especially the Bears, who don't have they don't have a first round pick this year. So I mean, you got to send next year's first round pick, and you got to have first round pick 2 years in a row, and you're going to try to revive Carson Wentz's career on a roster that's got a really good defense and no offensive weapons. Come on.
If I'm the Bears, man, I might run it back with Mitch Trubisky. I might run it back with Mitch Trubisky. If I'm the Bears, I might run it back with Mitch Trubisky. I might use Mitch. What else are you gonna do? What else are they gonna do?
Well, yeah, that's fair. Well, they're gonna draft a quarterback, and they might trade for Carson Wentz, but I think it's already confirmed that they're not bringing back Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, for real? And
I don't think they've announced anything, but I think that's the general assumption is that.
Then who's gonna be the quarterback? What, Nick Foles? I guess you could.
Well, like I said, I think they're going to draft a guy, or they're going to bring in somebody via trade like Carson Wentz, or maybe Deshaun motherfucking Watson.
Bears got Watson.
I mean, think about it. The Texans.
I'll be okay with
Watson out of the conference.
But if the Bears got Watson, they'll be dangerous.
Oh yeah.
If the Bears got, I'm thinking about that right now. The Bears, you think about it, they went 8-8 with two goobers as quarterback.
Yeah. And part of the reason that they didn't do better is because they had all that quarterback turbulence in the middle of the season.
They still made the playoffs.
Exactly. And they were one of the last undefeated teams, if you recall.
The Bears made the playoffs. The Bears got Watson. They'd be cold. I'm happy they'd be in the NFC, though. I'll tell you that for sure. But the Bears got Watson, man. They'd be cold. They would be cold. Yeah, I can see them making that trade. I think a player that we haven't really that they haven't really talked about that much that I'm actually very interested in. Is I really want to know what's going on with Jameis Winston. I just want to know what's going on with James Winston. I really want to know like how he's doing in New Orleans. Like did he take this year to mature and learn behind Sean Payton and Drew Brees? Because I mean, like you talk about somebody who have a lot of talent and just a head case. You talk about James Winston. You got somebody who got eyesight fit. I mean, he did throw 30 touchdowns. He threw 30 interceptions too. So I mean, like like I don't think that James Winston is a completely broken quarterback. I just think that he just got a lot of development, and I think somebody like Drew Brees was the perfect thing for James Winston. Like I said about who was that? Sam Darnold. Like I said, Sam Darnold, he need to go to Patriots. Patriots be a good team. No. I said Juju Smith-Schuster. I said the best team for the Juju Smith-Schuster would be the Patriots because I think Bill Belichick would be a good medicine for him. I think the same thing goes for James Winston. I think going to the Saints was probably the best thing that James Winston could have done because he went to a team that he could learn behind a quarterback and Drew Brees, and he could learn how his work ethic and how to prepare for the game and be ready for the game every Sunday. Yeah, I really want to know. I really want to see somebody take a swing at James Winston, and Chicago might be that team.
Thomas, can you imagine Juju's dumbass explaining literally anything that goes through his mind to Bill Belichick? Like, there's no way on earth Bill Belichick would be a good mentor for him. He wouldn't take Juju as a mentor. He'd be like, "You fuck right off." Like, okay, I don't know what Mr. Kraft was thinking bringing you in here, but like, no. You get out of my office now.
I think the only person that can get Juju straight is Bill Belichick. Yeah, I think the only person that can get Juju straight is Bill Belichick. By the way, I haven't had a chance to say this, by the way. And I really want to say this. Tom Brady is the GOAT. Now, I know everybody and their mama's been saying that. I heard some people will call Tom Brady the G-GOAT. He's not just the GOAT. He's the G-GOAT. He's the greatest GOAT of all time.
Well, that's actually a good point. I think the conversation has now gone from, is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Because I think that conversation's been over. But I think now it's starting to be like, is he the greatest sports person of all time? Like LeBron James versus Tom Brady. I think I'm taking Tom Brady.
I mean, like, shoot, man. Like, if I'm being real with you, man, I think somebody who should be on that list, by the way, for like one of the greatest athletes. How are we gonna talk about how great Michael Phelps is? Like, how many gold medals do Michael?
Yeah, you can't.
Oh my God! What? Oh my God! He won 8 gold medals in one Olympics. You know how nuts that is? He won 8 of them in one Olympics. 2008. Oh my God! That was one of the greatest performances of all time. Like, I don't even like swimming. No little, like I was what, 14? No, how old was I in 2008? Yeah, I was 14, 2008. Yeah. 2008, I'm a little 14-year-old me. I don't want to see dudes swimming. I'm 14. I'm a 14-year-old guy. What do you think I want to see? Not dudes swimming back and forth. But Michael Phelps, bruh. Michael Phelps in 2008 had me. I was never, the first time, or the second time, I was infatuated with an athlete. The first time I was infatuated with an athlete, like the athlete's like game, was when I first seen LeBron James play. And I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. So I first seen LeBron James play. That's another story for another day. But when I was sitting on TV and I was watching Michael Phelps on TV, I wanted to see him swim. I wanted to see every single one of his matches. Every single one of his swim meets, because he was so good and just so dominant. And I just never seen anything like that before. And he won 8 gold medals in one Olympics. Like, where does he get his due? Doesn't he have the most gold medals of all time by an individual? I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah.
Something like that.
Like, where does Michael Phelps go in this conversation?
Around 2000, it was either 2008 or 2009, back when Facebook first came out with those Like instead of giving you like facebook.com/ like a number, like it let you have like a username that you could like I say at the end of all the episodes, I'm facebook.com/ the Phelps. And I think Michael Phelps's cousin like contacted me after that, and he was like pissed at me because he wanted that name.
That's great.
And I'm like, you can go fuck off. Go cry on those gold medals, boy.
By the way, dude have 82. So he has the most gold medals of all time out of any athlete. He has 82 medals in major international courses. 65 of them were gold, 14 are silver, and 3 of them. He only won a bronze medal 3 times in his entire career. That is just insane. And oh man.
What a scrub. Only 3 bronze medals. Just leave it at that. Don't talk about the other medals. Just say he only won 3 bronze medals. Fucking scrub.
His first Summer Olympics. He got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, hold up. Yeah, the 2004 Summer Olympics. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gold and 2 bronze. And then 2008 Olympics, he had 8. He was 8 for 8. Damn, he's just a beast. It's gold medal after gold medal. Then he won 4 more in 2012, and then he won 1, 2, 3, 4. He won 5. He won literally 4 gold medals every single time. Every single time he was in the Olympics, he won 5 in 2016, which is nuts. Like this dude, man, he's 30. He'll probably be in the Olympics this year. I think he retired though, right? He retired, so he's done. I mean, like when he won all those gold medals, though, he has 23 Olympic gold medals and 4 Olympics. That is nuts. First of all, to make it to the Olympics is an achievement. To win a gold medal is a very, 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 very hard thing to do in this world, to win a gold medal in the Olympics. To have 23 of them, 23, like, man, we've seen some great athletes in our lifetime. Man, I'm not bad to live to see that. Just thinking about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, how does Tom Brady, like before we were comparing Tom Brady to like, you know, Joe Montana, but I think now we're comparing Tom Brady to Michael Phelps, and we're saying, what's the comparison here? Is there one? I certainly think there is. I don't know who I would say is greater. Probably still say Michael Phelps is greater. Although then again, Tom Brady's the way he's extended his career might put him over the edge. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dude just won a Super Bowl at 43 years old.
Yeah.
So, you know, man, I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough. The only thing, I guess, you know, swimming's not a team sport. Well, the relays are. But like even still, you know, that's only 4 people compared to, you know, 55.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know, man. That's tough. I don't know. Cause I want to say the only person that I can think that comes close, the only person I can say you can put in that conversation is Michael Phelps. I mean, like you could say Jordan, but man, I guess you gotta say Jordan, right? So yeah. I guess Ali winning 3 world championships is pretty impressive. Ali winning 3 is pretty impressive, actually. But like, is it as impressive winning 7 Super Bowls and 1 at 43? But then, you know, actually no, because like Ali had, you know, he had the political drama behind it too. He had to deal with that. So Ali was just on another level too.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know, man. I'll probably say Tom Brady. You know, saying Tom Brady is the greatest of all sports is easy because we have recency bias that's happening right now. But it is so hard. You know, I don't know. It's just so hard, man. It is so hard to think. It is so hard. I'm just having a hard time crowning him as the greatest of all sports. But at the same time, I don't want to take away the fact that he won 7 Super Bowls.
Well, right.
Like you said on Twitter.
I'm not saying I'm not here to tell you that Tom Brady is the greatest of all sports of all time. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying he's part of the discussion now.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
he has exited, I think, like, because I'm not even really entertaining the question of is he the greatest quarterback of all time. Like this,
Oh no,
that question
that's a
was
stupid
over. Like
conversation. Yeah.
that conversation was over. Like I mean, like it was definitely over like 2 years ago. It might have been over before that. I don't know, but
Right.
like now it's just like I'm not even entertaining that conversation anymore. Like beyond just like pointing out people for being like ridiculous human beings, beyond that I'm not like there's no argument there. That's stupid. But like I mean we can move on to a new discussion now. It's like, who's a better, like, would you take Tom Brady as an athlete, or would you take Michael Phelps, or would you take Tiger Woods? Like, these are all guys who all are in this kind of conversation, and Tom Brady's joined those ranks now. And he's not done yet. That's the crazy thing. Like, he was
yet.
last time we saw him play football, he was playing at an elite level. This isn't like when Peyton Manning quit playing after he was virtually done because he played like trash that last year. No, this is Tom Brady still playing at an elite level, and he wants to play till he's 50. So I mean, like why the hell can't he? Why can't we see Tom Brady playing, potentially pushing up against 2030?
He might do it.
I mean, NFL fans might like have a riot because there's a lot of NFL fans who don't like Tom Brady, but still, like,
I mean, my team's been bad the whole time that he's been good, so I got nothing against him. So
I mean, my team definitely like tripped up against him from time to time. Like, my team had some good waves and some bad waves when Tom Brady was good, and then every once in a while we run into the Tom Brady buzzsaw. But I mean, you can choose to be a salty douchebag about it, like Steelers fans are, or you can like recognize the greatness and just be like, we might never see something like this again in the NFL.
No, unless Baker Mayfield does it. Come on, Baker.
I'm pulling for Joe. He's got more time.
Yeah, that I was I remember that commercial, that 100-year commercial. Tom Brady dropped all the rings on the table. Here you go, Baker. Dropped all the rings on the table in front of Baker Mayfield. That's my favorite part of the commercial. Here you go, Baker. Here, have these rings real quick. I gotta go join this fight.
Yeah.
Man, that's the best part of the commercial.
I gotta say,
ooh, that was a fall. Dude just fell on his face.
Ooh.
Oh my God. Oh, I hope he's okay. I don't know. Sometimes basketball players, they have the worst falls in the world, and they just get right up. But dude just fell on his face, like right on his face. And he's okay. He looks like he's okay. And then the NBA they showing it. How are you okay after that though? Like I am astounded. I probably seen some falls in my day playing sports. But like I'll be astounded some like the falls that these players take, and then it'd be the injury report 2 days later. But where they get hurt? They're like, yeah, they got hurt right here. They do a good job of that, man. Yeah, take him to the sideline, check him out, dude. He just fell on his face. Like dude just fell on his face. like that. First of all, it's a flagrant foul. I'm sorry, that play just took me off. I looked up. I was like, oh my God, that was bad.
Oh, I mean, you're fine. It's just, be a little confusing on the other end of this. It's like, what the hell is he talking about? But yeah, I will say, I want to push back against and kind of reject the notion that this was like a lot of people, especially people who don't want to give Tom Brady like as much credit or visibility as they can. A lot of people talking about how this was just like a terrible, unwatchable Super Bowl and just it wasn't fun and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, I mean, maybe if you're like a casual football fan, it wasn't particularly fun. But I mean, there was so much to watch for if you're like really intently watching the game of football being played here. I mean, I'll be honest with you, at no point until maybe at the very, very end of the game, like, after maybe after maybe after the third quarter, I thought that the Buccaneers were probably going to run away with this game. But beyond that, at no point did I really feel like Patrick Mahomes couldn't come back and turn it on. Because, I mean, he hadn't been having a good game to that point. But that's the thing. It's like, Patrick Mahomes is better than this. The Chiefs as a whole are better than this. And you remember the last time the Chiefs played the Buccaneers. They can turn it on at any given second.
Yeah.
So I did not feel at any point that I could really I felt like even at halftime it was like 21-6, and it looked like the Chiefs were just like doing nothing the whole time. Even at that point, I was just like, man, I got to see this second half because you never know what's going to happen. And even though the Chiefs didn't score a lot of points, there was a lot of fascinating stuff that was going on. Like, this was not an actionless game. It's just that the Chiefs were really unable to actually put it in when it mattered. But, I mean, they were still getting the ball down the field. They were still throwing the ball. They were still advancing. They were still knocking on the door. And that was the biggest thing for me, is part of the reason that there was no point that I felt like the Chiefs were out of it, maybe until late in the game, is because like you remember last year when the Chiefs played the Texans and the Texans got that big lead on the Chiefs and then the Chiefs came back. And the reason for it was the Texans pretty much got that league based off a bunch of fluke things here and there, and they didn't really earn their lead. So when the Chiefs actually turned the Jets on, the Texans weren't prepared for it. I was kind of wondering if something similar wasn't going to happen with the Buccaneers, because the Chiefs just seemed like they were going through a run of really bad luck in the first half. Yeah. So at pretty much every point in that first half and in the third quarter and even maybe parts of the fourth quarter, I was thinking, this Chiefs team, if they turn the Jets on, if they, do what they're totally capable of doing, then people need to watch out because, this game is not over until, 0-0-0. I don't care what the score says. It's not over until the score says 0-0-0. Stupid autoplay.
I agree with you. I was sitting there waiting for the Chiefs to come back too. I thought that this game, what I thought coming this game, I didn't think it was going to be a blowout. I said it was going to be a close game. The way I thought that the Buccaneers were going to win this game was I just thought that the defense is both defenses were going to be better than people thought. That was one thing I thought. But the other thing I was thinking about was I thought that all Tampa Bay had to do was keep the game close for Tom Brady in the fourth quarter. And I thought Tom Brady in the fourth quarter could beat Patrick Mahomes in the fourth quarter. I thought you get Tom Brady in that fourth quarter is over. So I thought that the Chiefs were going to make like a comeback, but I didn't think that Tom Brady was going to allow the Chiefs to completely come back. I knew that Tom Brady knew that he's going to do whatever he can to win that game. So I thought they were going to make a comeback, but I didn't think they'd be able to catch Tom Brady. I just thought Tom Brady when that offense, when that Tampa Bay offense got moving, they weren't stopping, man. They got everything they wanted, man. Right. They got everything they wanted. But that defense, though, the story of that game is Tampa Bay's defense. Tampa Bay's defense, man, they did a tremendous job on that defense. Man, that's defense won championships all day, every day.
Well, man. I will say that the NFL is definitely, it's interesting because the NFL, the game has changed to the point where offense really kind of rules the day. I think you're right. It is important to remember that defense does win championships because that's the thing. I think a great offense will get you to the Super Bowl because a great offense, especially in today's game, a great offense is what's going to get you over a like in like a 18, 19 game stretch, a great offense is what is going to get you wins more often than not. But what's going to get you one individual win in the most important point in any game? You're right. It's a tough defense, because a tough defense is what is going to keep you stable through a really intense, important game. And yeah, getting to that championship, I think you need a great offense, because especially the way the NFL is going, so many teams have good offenses, and you just gotta. And sometimes you just gotta outscore the other team, and it's a grind. It's a constant grind. You can't constantly grind off of your defense, because that'll just tire the entire team out. But you got that offense, and you got that energy constantly going and going and going, and then you get to the Super Bowl, and you let the defense loose, and suddenly nobody can stop you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just that, there's a lot of flaws in the theory of the way that Kansas City was built. Like you said at the very beginning of the podcast, is that Kansas City is good at a lot of specific things, and it's very flashy, and it's very in your face, and you think, man, how can anybody beat this? Because if they pass the eye test, long story short. Well, sometimes just because you pass the eye test, sometimes just because you're sexy doesn't mean that it works as well as something reliable. You have this cool, nice, flashy new car. Oh, engine problems. It doesn't last as long as we thought it would be. It's not as strong as we thought it would be. But old reliable keeps going. Old reliable can make that trip to Tennessee. Old reliable can make that trip to Tampa Bay, I should say. Man, I did not think they'd get blown out like that. I can tell you that for sure, though.
Well, see, that's again, I think the thing. Like, I think the final score doesn't really represent what happened, because yes, the Buccaneers dominated. They definitely did. And you could definitely say that it was a blowout like game. But like I said, the Chiefs drove the ball a lot more than a lot better than you would expect for a team that got blown out. I mean, the problem was they weren't getting it done when they got down the field. And there were plenty of instances where they were only able to drive like 20, 30 yards, and then the drive stalled. But there were also the instances like, in the first half and the first drive of the second half, they were able to get down the field, but they weren't able to punch it in the end zone. They had to settle for a field goal. Yeah. And that's just, that's not going to get it done when Tom Brady's out here, again, not playing the best game of his career, but playing well enough that he can throw 3 touchdowns. You got to be doing something when you got the opportunity if you're the Chiefs. And that's the problem. That's why I don't think that the final score really represents what happened. Because you look at the final score and you think the Chiefs came out and just laid an egg. And that's not what happened. The Chiefs were competitive through the game. They just couldn't get it done when it mattered.
They had a horrible second half.
Yeah, they did not have a good second half.
When dude threw those peace signs at Taysom Hill, I mean, like, you know what it was? You know what it is, man? The Chiefs got too arrogant, man. Yeah. Like, I know it's like such a grandma's thing to say when you watch sports. Like, oh, yeah, my grandma's always say that. I remember I used to do for Ohio State. And they will lose those big national championship games. My grandma would be like, they got too arrogant. Like, man, grandma, they didn't get too arrogant. That ain't why they lost. Well, grandma. But
I don't know. I think Ohio State gets pretty arrogant sometimes.
But in reality, my grandmother probably on something, man. She's probably onto something, because you know what though, there's something to be said in sports about, you being too arrogant, you being too confident in yourself. Because sometimes when you're so, I ain't saying, because always anytime I play a sport, I always think I'm the best on the court, on the field, whatever. I always think I'm better. Yeah, but you should just think you're so much better to the fact that you just disrespect your opponent. And so I kind of wish you explained it like that. But that's pretty much what she meant.
All right. Well, I think
It's getting late.
I think it's getting late, but I also think that that's probably all we can really say about this game.
Yeah,
A lot of people said it wasn't a good one. I thought that
I enjoyed it.
I thought that it wasn't the most exciting Super Bowl I've ever watched, but I definitely think it was better than people give it credit for. I think the Chiefs put up, like I said, I think the Chiefs put up a decent fight and just weren't able to get it done at crunch time when it really mattered at any given time during the game. And that's why the score was as out of balance as it was. There were a couple interceptions thrown in the second half, but I mean, for the most part, I think it was really just an issue of the Chiefs kind of choking at the very end and then the score not really reflecting how well they were driving the ball at times.
Oh, what do you think about the halftime show?
Okay, first of all, I'm not a pop listener by any means whatsoever. So in general, I usually don't like the music of the halftime show. But I will say I wasn't a huge fan of The Weeknd's music. But like, holy crap, when he was like going through that like mirror maze, like inside the set, I think that got me high. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm scared.
I thoroughly enjoy the visuals of that halftime show. Oh, there's a song. What's that song that his newest song is very popular. When the transition to that song was actually pretty amazing. I thought the transitions were great. I thought, a lot of people were questioning that performance. I thought it was actually, consider this, you got to remember that they had, this is a social distance. This was a social distance halftime show he had to do here. So, I thought he didn't do bad. I enjoyed it. I thought that the choreography was really good.
It sure didn't look socially distanced inside that thing where like all those dancers were like doing a mosh pit with them.
Yeah. I don't think it was as spectacular as some of our other halftime shows. But neither was Katy Perry's. Nobody ever knew. I thought Katy Perry's, everybody was like, oh, Katy Perry got sharks. Oh my God, the sharks. I didn't think Katy Perry's halftime show was that great. I just thought the sharks were okay. The sharks. By the way, I miss Katy.
Just waiting for Janet Jackson part 2,
That was a great halftime show. I was 10 years old.
I
was 10 years old when I became a man.
I was very mad when I found out what happened the next day because my dad wasn't happy with the with the way they were dancing, so he changed the channel. And then I come out and find out the next day. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I missed that."
It was 9 actually, and yeah. Oh man, I'm never gonna forget that moment. I was 10 years old when I became a man. Or 9 years old. Because it was right before my birthday. So I was 9 years old when I became a man. I became a man on that day. It was called our TV room. Never gonna forget that. I was like, interesting. And the thing was, like, when I seen it, never mind. No, it's an interesting story. Like, what goes through a young man's head when you see boobs for the first time? Like, when I first seen it, I just thought, okay. And I didn't really do much for me at that moment, but then it kind of just pondered on me. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, And then I just sat there and just thought about it. And I ate breakfast the next morning and I was just thinking about it. And I didn't really react to it. I didn't say anything with my mom about it or anything. I was just thinking about it. I was like, Then it probably took me about a year before I realized what I seen. I was like, you know what? Yes.
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 Indubitably.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna leave you on that note. We're gonna go ahead and finish off and leave you with that little bit of imagery right there. Yeah, thanks for listening to this season of predictions. Thomas won the regular season, and I won playoffs. And
we both won the Super Bowl. We both won the Super Bowl, Kyle.
Yeah, we both won the Super Bowl, but either way, Thomas owes me a jersey, and I'm not going to let him forget about that.
No, I got you. I'll get it before next season.
Yeah, We'll come back at you with predictions, obviously for next season. Keep an eye out for. I keep saying we're going to be doing live streams. We are going to be doing that. We just got to find the actual time. Like, we don't make any money off of doing these, so we both have to work full time and do other stuff on the side. So it's just a matter of finding time to do the live streams. Because we're recording this predictions episode at 11:30 at night right now. So I can't imagine any of you want to watch us live stream at 11:30 at night. So
yeah, no.
Rest assured, we're doing that at some point. We just got to figure out a good time to do it.
I bring a beer.
But, yeah, thanks for listening this year, guys. And we got a lot of good off-season content coming up for you guys this next few months. We're going to be talking about the draft. We're going to be talking about free agency. We're going to be doing simulations. We're going to be, just doing what you would normally expect a Bengals fan and a Browns fan to do with the offseason because we've had so much damn practice with it.
Practice? We're talking about practice, not the game, the practice.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Peace.